Today is July 22nd, 2025. It's Talking Giants brought to you by SeatGeek. And man, does my face look red. I think the red shirt doesn't help, and the lighting in this room doesn't help. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I sat at a NASCAR race for 3.5, 4 hours this weekend. And as I was driving away from Dover, Delaware this morning, I'm thinking, all right, man, this is it. No more like little vacations. No, your summer's kind of over, man, because football is back. Even though it's the end of July, I always operate like in my head that we operate almost like a teacher schedule where, the teachers they go from the end of July and then they kind of wrap things up in May and June. And the football calendar's a little similar when you cover it, or even if you're a part of it and you're working it too. I feel like it's a little similar in that regard too. So this Wednesday, Giants training camp practice number 1. I'm really excited for. I'm excited to see everybody. Anytime that we do anything in person, I've been saying this for years. Anytime that we do anything in person, whether that be a tailgate, an event, training camp practice, a game, anything that there's an opportunity to catch up with people, see people, meet people for the first time, or even if I'm seeing somebody for the 50th time, it's an awesome time. And speaking of people that we've had on that I've met 50 times. The New York Revival guys were on today. So we talked for a bunch of stuff. We talked for about 50 minutes. And before we get to that, before I throw it to them, here's what I kind of have mapped out for training camp practices and recaps. We're going to come back here to the warehouse. We're working on some tech that may allow us to actually stream on site. So then that means the recaps are going to be posted and brought to you quicker. But as of now, that's not ready. So I don't know if that's going to get fully ready, but practices are going to end. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to go live on YouTube, recap all the practices. And if you miss it, you can watch it. You can rewatch it on YouTube. And then also for the first time, I'm going to be putting the daily recaps on the podcast app as well. So you don't just have to catch up on it on YouTube as well. So excited for it. I'm going to watch what I want to watch. I'm going to primarily be solo for the recap. So again, I'm going to watch what I want to watch, but also I'm going to lean on the YouTube chat and kind of if you want to see certain things, I'm going to lean on you guys, and then I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to try and report back what I can. I'm thinking about also tonight making a spreadsheet of the roster, and then also a way that maybe I can keep track of stats and certain notes. I have an idea on how I would want to filter things as I'm watching training camp that just makes things a little bit easier, and maybe try and do some note keeping this year. So I'm gonna tweet out, and I'm gonna post whenever I finalize a spreadsheet in a way to organize the roster, all the guys on the roster. I'm gonna color code things. I have an idea and a vision in my head of how I can better keep track of things in the past than I have done in the past. So get excited for that. I'm excited about it. I really am. Training camp is one of my favorite times of the year. It's kind of how I came up and how I kind of first got noticed. I was a college kid in 2019 at a Giants practice where I would stream it, and I kind of wouldn't even show the field a lot. I kind of would just talk through it because I didn't want to just live stream a full practice, but even just giving the play-by-play updates on those Periscope streams were a ton of fun, and people liked it. So I'm excited for that again. Excited for it. Excited. So let's do it. New York Revival guys are coming on the show. We had a 50-minute conversation. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you for training camp recap number 1. All right, I want to welcome you back to the show and welcome the New York Revival guys, Eli, Spiro, Hefe, bringing these guys on because they bring the vibes, they bring the energy, and honestly, just 3 guys that I genuinely enjoy hanging out with. You're going to be at training camp this week. I'm going to be at training camp. We're all going to be at training camp, and it's going to be a great time. Eli, kick us off, brother. Tell me how excited you are for training camp for this season to start. I finally got back from Dover today, and I kind of I didn't put NASCAR to bed, but kind of put my summer to bed, and my summer's kind of over because football's kind of back.
Listen, man, let me tell you how excited I am. And all Giants fans should be excited right now, okay? The Giants are back. Training camp is great. We got a new quarterback and a rookie. We got a new quarterback, period, in Russell Wilson. And we also got Jameis Winston back there as well as your QB2. It's going to be no more Tommy DeVito, but we'll see. But Giants fans should be happy, should be excited that we don't have to worry about Daniel Jones being back there screwing everything up. We don't got to worry about none of that stuff here, guys, because we got a competent quarterback. Now, the question is, does he have something left in the tank? And I still think he does. I think he does, Giants fans. Relax a little bit. I think he's going to win us some games here. We're going to do record predictions later, I hope. But I'm telling you, Giants fans, you should be off the rocker knowing that this is a brand new, different team here. You have a veteran quarterback in there that can throw the ball with a nice little touch, that little deep ball we were looking for from Daniel Jones. We got a guy that can do that here
Little
in the
moon
building
ball.
now. Oh, the moon ball. So, Giants fans, be excited about this season. I think we're going to do a lot more winning than losing, but we'll get into it.
Ah,
But you should be excited about this season, Giants fans. I'm very excited. I don't know about you guys.
Bro, you do live
I'm
your
sorry.
life. You live your life as a man that looks at things half full, some say. So, um,
yes, I do.
True.
where are you at?
I'm starting to get more and more positive as we get closer to the season, honestly. Um, it starts with the defense. This defense, by everybody's rankings, has them. Everybody's excited about this defense and this front four especially. And defense wins games. Or at least, the very least, they keep you in games. So I don't envision us getting blown out in any games anymore. I envision there being close games, and that alone is a good place to start from. And then you have, as Eli put it, the veteran quarterback that knows how to put this offense in the right position. And a lot of times I felt like when the game was on the line or it was a tough game, Danny's head, he got a little too quick for him, and his eyes were, that San Francisco game. I remember his eyes were all over the place. It seemed like he didn't know what to do. We have a guy who's seen it all now, has done it all, and as Eli mentioned as well, the deep ball, the big plays can be a part of this offense. I know there's going to be a lot of, and everybody, they can't stop telling us how we're going to be so frustrated with Russell Wilson. We're so frustrated. I get it, but average quarterback play is still way above what we have had recently, and that wins games. We just need average play, and that gets me excited. The average quarterback play gets me excited, and the defense. That combination, along with some a young rookie class that looks good, and last year's class that had some hits. I'm excited about it all coming together. And Dable looks invigorated. We have the cloud lifted, and it feels good, man. It feels good.
Fellas, I almost want to put it on a shirt. And
Yeah.
you've heard my spiel. When we get together, we've got together for the next playoff game, and Tommy's, and we of course we talk Giants, and I've repeated this before, especially on other shows that I go on and whatever. I'll scream this from the mountaintops about, you mentioned average. If they're average, it's gonna feel so damn good because
So sad.
you don't have to be bottom three in,
Yes.
in the stuff
Correct.
that's most important. You don't have to be bottom three in scoring. You don't have to be bottom three in forcing turnovers as a defense. There's a world where you could be average in any sort of given category, and it's okay. It's
Yes.
fine. So that is I almost just want to put average on a shirt and just
Yo,
because
and let's be honest here, right? We're talking about top 15, top 16. We're talking about
20th,
that. That 20th. I'll take 20th. I'll take it. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a huge improvement to what we used to see back in the day. Like you said, second to last. Like we're done seeing these statistics. Just be average. Just go out there and just look like a competent team. And then Jackson Dart's gonna come in next year, and we'll get into all of that. But just go out there and just look like you improved. That's what's going to save some jobs. But if you're back there and you're in the bottom two and all that stuff again, everyone is gone. And then you just drafted Jackson Dart. Everybody's going to be out of there. John Mara's not going to let anyone stay at the end of the season. So just go out there, be average. Be average there, Dayball. That's all I ask for. I don't want nothing special. Go out there and be average.
I
And
saw
if it's
some.
above it, I'll take it. I'll take it.
There were some posts putting out like ranking the rosters in the NFL, and the Giants came in at 27th or something like that.
Okay.
And I was glowing. I'm like, we did it, guys. We did it. We're out of the dumpster. Let's go. But it's sad. But the vibes are definitely better this year, and I think we've been held back by the quarterback position. In addition to doing a number of things wrong, like building, a good line, the proper roster, all of those things. But I think this is way more talent than we've had in the last 3 or 4 years on the roster. And average quarterback play with a good defense will win you games. right? No turnovers, and you don't have to run an offense, due to the quarterback's inabilities.
Right.
Instead, you can let the ball fly. You can do things like that. So I'm excited for all that.
I started thinking about this morning, and this may not even be something that we have a lot of thoughts on yet, because I don't even know what my full thoughts are on it. It's so important for this training camp for the Giants to be prepared to go into a football season, because the last couple of years, 2023 and 2024, they have not been prepared to especially play their week one game, where they just get, they get their kick teeth, they get their kick teeth in. There you go. They get their teeth kicked in. They get their teeth kicked in week one. Now, granted, like Dallas 2023 was a good team. Vikings 2024, they were a good team, but I don't care who you're playing. There's no excuse in the NFL to get beat that bad on any given game and on any given Sunday. So this training camp, like, the most important thing is, like, they have to go into a summer and walk out of it like, we are ready to play week one. Now, there's no way to measure that, and there's no way to, like, look at that and evaluate that and be like, I think this team is actually going to compete with Washington and not get their kick teeth in. Right? So I don't know how to measure and evaluate that. So I'm sitting back here and thinking, between, like, we know what Russell Wilson is.
Yeah.
We know what, like, go through the most significant players on the offensive side of the ball, right? We know what Andrew Thomas is. In fact, I don't need to see Andrew Thomas all that much during training camp.
No, not the week one.
We know Neighbors is a stud. It would be nice if he's out there getting a relationship with Russell Wilson and all these quarterbacks, but we know what Darius Slayton is. Like, there's so many guys on this offense and really on both sides of the ball that we kind of know what they are. I mean, obviously the second-year players in the draft class outside of Neighbors, you want to see them grow, make plays over the summer. The rookie class this year, we didn't see Cam Scatterbo on the field during the spring. We didn't see Darius Alexander on the field during the spring. So those guys need to be on the field. You want to see maybe some flashes out of them this camp. But I started thinking about this morning. I'm like, you know what? As I'm thinking about what these recaps are going to look like and what we're going to talk about, what I want to watch, like, day one, it's a whole argument every year of how much does training camp actually matter. So that's really, like, the question that I have this year is, like, of course training camp matters and it's so important, and I think it's going to be really important to recap it. But what's your guys' kind of take on how much stake and value you're putting into the practices that you're seeing and the performances that maybe we get out of those practices?
I'll tell you this. Practice makes perfect, right? I don't want to sit here and have no one sit out. I think everyone should be playing. Let's not forget the Giants only won 3 games, right? And correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. So everyone should be out there giving their max effort. We understand, but, like, practice, there ain't nobody AI on this team right here. All right. Even I'm sure if AI practice, he would have won a championship. I don't care how talented you are. These guys got to move as a unit, a cohesive unit. These guys have to figure it out. So training camp is very important to work on your timing, to work on your footwork, to even work on what the plays are going to be called when you're audible. Because we've seen the Giants do this last season. Didn't play all the starters, and they had this slow, crappy start to where they couldn't even get out their way to only winning 3 games. Everyone needs to be on board, and Dayball needs to make sure the Neighbors of the world, the Slaytons of the world, even the quarterback that's coming in, Russell Wilson better be in there 99% of the time, because he's new here. He's still new to the system, and the verbiage you got to get used to and the timing of these receivers. They all need to be out there giving their maximal effort. And I mean, going up, getting the ball. Listen, the people that'll be like, well, it's injuries. It's injuries in all sports. We can't go in there and worry about that right now. This team has to get better. They have to gel. There's a lot of new pieces here. This team has to figure it out. So I need some tenacity. I need some energy when I see training camp. I don't want to see no one just sitting there jogging, waving to the fans. I don't want to see none of that. Go out there and practice. Practice your tail off like it's a real game going on. Because look what OBJ said when he was here. I practice hard. I practice hard to be ready for the games on Sunday. That's what the Giants need to do right now, hands down, period. Everyone give their best effort. That's what I'm looking for.
One thing I really need to see is Malik Neighbors and Russell Wilson get on the same page, because you think about one of the best combinations in the league, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Think about how many thousands of reps they've had. And you hear Jamar Chase talk about it on the Netflix show. Quarterback, about how he knows what I'm thinking. The ball's going to be there when I come out of this break, and you can't defend stuff like that. And it's because of how many reps they've had together on top of how talented they are. So Justin, you've been talking about explosive plays as long as I've known you.
Mhm.
And I think, that's going to come from Malik Neighbors, and that's going to come from Russell Wilson being on the same page. So I need them to get reps. So that's how you're going to win games too. So I think that's as important as it gets. So they need to be practicing together.
I mean,
So the camera's
I'll say
not
this.
cutting to me. I'm getting a complex here, Justin. Is that okay?
No, the camera,
We
camera
see
is
you.
cutting.
We see you.
Why-
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's
we
on
see
you.
Don't worry.
I
Don't
see
worry.
it.
It's on you.
Okay. What a diva.
So I think personally, and again, I'm just going off of what we saw in the past.
Have faith, Beckham Jr.
Yeah. Dable has this mindset that he doesn't play his starters in the preseason, and it hasn't worked the last 2 years. It's been an utter failure, as you've mentioned, Justin. We come out of the gates looking flat. So I wonder if that part of the process changes. I wonder if we see some more reps from these stars in the preseason, because I remember coming out of last preseason. They played Houston, they played the Jets, and even Detroit. They were just very lackluster. I didn't feel great going into week 1 at all. And I know 2 years ago, there's that one Panthers game that they played one series.
Oh my God!
Went down
Aaron
the field.
Wall was on pace for 10,000 catches.
Yeah, we thought we were going to be like the best thing since sliced bread, but then we realized how bad the Panthers were and we took one series and just we're like, okay, we're ready. No, we need these guys in a quarter. We need these guys, especially the linemen, and again, Russell Wilson's got to get a quarter in, got to get a half in maybe in that third game. I don't care what you do, but I think it should change. But I think you should feel the vibes being better than we have in the last couple of years, because going into each of those seasons, I wasn't really on a high, and I need that feeling going in, that I have some confidence that we could knock off, because this is a week, like, you can't even sleep on this opponent. You can't, like, Washington is coming off an NFC championship, a performance, like with Jaden Daniels. You better come in acting like this is your Super Bowl, because this is that's what sets the tone.
Knock them back down to earth right off the bat. How about that?
And a division game at that. So you know how important that is. You know what I mean? So the Giants have to take Washington serious week 1, hands down.
And you got
and
Dallas
tomorrow.
Dallas, Kansas City waiting for you right after. So that's how important.
I don't want to talk
Washington
about the
is.
schedule. I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, me either. Stop.
Yeah.
Too many people have talked about how hard. I know how hard the schedule is. Believe me, we'll to experience just how hard that schedule is. You just wait. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
So here's now what I'm thinking about as we're talking about preseason games, practice. There's 2 things I want to bring up. I want to make a list right now. I think there are 2 players on the exempt list of I don't need to see too much of you this summer, and that's Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas. I agree. Even though we know what Malik Neighbors is, but it still is very, very important for quarterback and wide receiver to get that chemistry. So I do agree. If he's out there, he should be healthy. Oh, by the way, I'll throw this out there. I've texted some people from LSU that have like connections to training staffs and also like just diehard LSU fans. I'm not tweeting this out or anything, so that's why, hey, if you listen to the podcast and it's part of a 60-minute conversation, you can't fully get mad at me. They haven't fully reported on a Malik Neighbors toe injury that he suffered at LSU with. So I maybe I don't want to say they're lying, but I don't know. I don't.
But it apparently stems from then, right?
Yeah, they haven't heard about it. So hopefully Malik Neighbors is actually out there day 1, because if he's inside, honestly, it's going to be one of the first things I check on is do we see number 1 show up out on that football field? Because if he's out there and he's running around, great. He was out there, running around San Diego when Russell Wilson was holding all those workouts, which is great. But if it's the same status quo as the spring, where for half the practice he's in the Quest Diagnostic Center and then he comes out for the second half and he doesn't really do all that much, that's going to suck. And then there's going to be a bunch of questions, and then Brian Dable is not going to give any answers, and we're all going to be confused and we're all going to be angry. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But do you agree with me? Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, 2 players that I don't need to see too much of you list this summer any more than
100%. I'd add Brian Burns. Like, I think you're going to get what you're going to get out of Brian Burns. What is he going to get from the preseason that's going to like catapult him to another level, right? Like, he is a dynamic pass rusher. He has been a dynamic pass rusher. I don't think he's got anything to prove in the preseason to where I need to see him on the field a ton of time. I think he'll still be out there, but it's a guy that I've already know. I think I know what I'm getting on him. You're going to get close to 10 plus sacks, and you don't really need much more, in my opinion, from him.
Yep.
See, Dex is the only one at the top of that mountain for me, because Andrew Thomas, O-line is a concern year in and year out for us. So I would like to see him like a cohesive unit to go into week one, knowing that they've worked on every coverage, on every slide, on every pickup, so that their communication is intact, as opposed to, all right, he's healthy, let's roll him out there. Because then you're looking at games instead of practices to get him up to speed.
And Hef, you hit the nail on the head. That was perfectly put, because
this offensive
line, I got you, brother. This offensive line needs to gel. Right? We all kept saying, like, hey, they need more time with each other. They need more time with each other. When Andrew Thomas gets hurt, that line is in shambles. So we need to see him. We need to see that unit gel more. This way, when it's time for action, these guys know what they're doing. They know who to pick up when those off-counter blitzes or whatever comes in. Well, I forget the name of it that quick, but when those blitzes and those guys switch off, those little twists
stunts,
that they're able to stunts. There we go. That we're able to pick up. And then Andrew Thomas is in there kind of facilitating it, and everybody's on the same page. We need them to gel together. So I want to see more Andrew Thomas, but as far as Dexter Lawrence, no, sit down. Absolutely, we don't need to see any more. But Speed, I just want to say one thing. As far as Brian Burns, he needs to be in there. Kayvon Thibodeau needs to be in there. These guys cannot stop the run to save their lives. Yes, they're sack masters, whatever you want to call them, but these guys need to figure out how to stop this run and stop the bleeding there. So I need these guys to be a little more out there, a little more, start touching, make contact somewhere, because you got to figure that part out. And if it's them putting more time on the field to figure that out, put those guys and leave them in there. We already know you can sack the quarterback. Thank you. But stop the damn run. That's what we need you to do this season. Badly at this point. You know what I mean? So, yes, the only person that should be exempt at this point, because he's consistent year in and year out, is Dexter freaking Lawrence. But Andrew Thomas, get in that game, man. You've been injured way more than you played. Get in there and gel with this offensive line finally.
Can I go against my two buddies over here real quick? Andrew Thomas...
No, we got to move. Sorry, we have to. Yeah, we have to move on. We got to move on. Sorry, guys. Next topic.
Andrew Thomas being out should be something that we plan for, right? We need to know what the backup is going to do, because Andrew Thomas is out all the time, and I hate to say that. I hate to say this like this, and I agree with your premise that the more reps we need to start, but who's to say that his backup is probably going to get maybe even more reps than Andrew Thomas? I would hate for that to happen. I don't want to put that out there.
Glass half full, my ass.
What is this?
I'm just, hey, I need to know who that backup is. I need that to be a consistent player. That was where we went wrong last year. Because once we got some consistency, once Jermaine moved over to left tackle, we got back to being a pretty consistent offensive line. It was the Zudu experiment in between that everything went to SH. I don't want to.
Can we curse here?
Everything went shit. Well, good news for all of you. This is kind of mean to Josh Zudu. Josh Zudu isn't making the team, so
exactly. But we need to know who Andrew Thomas's backup is, and we need to have that plan set. So the more reps I think that backup can get, the better, in my opinion. So
that's all I'm saying. Speed. That's insane to me, Speed. To even say
I know it's sad. It's sad to think about that world.
It's true, because Andrew Thomas is the best offensive line piece you got there. So you want him to get acclimated and get better at it. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is, you want that line to gel with him in there. You know what I mean? So again, if we're thinking of the backup to go in there and possibly get more, I just think it's mind-boggling to me. Go out there, and I hope you can be healthy, Andrew Thomas. Go out there and be healthy, be that guy, and go play. Hopefully this is the year where he sits and finishes out the year finally. You know what I mean? Hopefully. This is it. You know what I mean? But it's just hard for me to sit there and go, man, I want to see what that backup does. I just can't. I can't swallow that right there. I don't know, Speed, but I get where you're going. I get where you're going.
Now this I want to be quick on, because there's some other stuff I want to get to as well. Yeah. We talked about preseason games, how we manage that. They only have one joint practice this year, and that's only one day with the Jets. Now, they had 3 joint practices last year. I believe 2 with the Lions, and then they're 1 with the Jets for the final preseason game. We thought that maybe they would have a joint practice with the Bills. They don't. They're in Buffalo for that first preseason game. Now, the second preseason game is usually when you see the the starters play. But one of the reasons why you didn't really see the starters play a ton against the Lions is because they always use we really work the starters a lot in the joint practice. That's why they don't actually play in the preseason game. So now the second preseason game is the Jets game on the 16th. The joint practice is on the joint practice is on the 13th. The preseason game is on a Saturday. So I wonder how they're going to deal with that. As the years have gone on, Dable has picked up the intensity in practices. Like 2023 was a full-on country club, and it was worse than 2022. And it's because at that point, I feel like they had a lot of veterans, and they had Darren Waller being like the lead catalyst of that. This offense is going to go as he goes, and we're going to keep him slow. And we won 9 games in 2022. We're going to get better, right? No. And then last year they picked things up and they smacked the Lions in the mouth for a couple, especially that first practice. And
I was gonna say I was encouraged after that. Yeah,
we were all like, "Oh my god,
we are so back!"
back. And then like Dan Campbell, I think it was like the divisional round or during the playoffs. Dan Campbell was like told the story of, "Hey, we went to East Rutherford and we got punched in the mouth, and that was a wake up call for us." I'm like, "Oh shit, hang the banner." He played the Lions well in a joint practice. So I'm really wondering, and this doesn't even need to be answered now, just because we'll figure this out. We'll see how the first preseason game goes. We'll see how the joint practices go and things like that, and then what Dable has to say. But if the expectation is for the starters to play more in the preseason, that's the kind of timeline. It usually happens that second game in a 3 preseason game schedule, but they're having a joint practice on the 13th. So how will they really approach that? It's something to be it's something that we're interested in, and I think all 3 of us, like I want them to play. I don't think they need to play a ton, but I do think the starters need to go out there and play more than they have in the past this year for sure. So
give me a quarter, like two series, 3 series, whatever. But like I need more than just 1 series and then you're done. Hang them up. You haven't proven anything.
I feel like it used to be like, the first week you do 1 quarter and then you do half and then 3 and you're building up towards not only, getting ready for the season, but like getting your body ready you can't go from the country club practice to getting smacked for 60 minutes. Like just doesn't work.
Part of this, I think, is the 1 less preseason game and be 1 more regular season game now. So like things have changed on a lot of fronts, but it's also the coach, it depends on who the coach is and their philosophy. I think somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Belichick didn't play his starters in New England at all. Basically, it looks like Dable took that thought process over and was working with it. But now you have to change, dude, because it hasn't worked.
and that's the thing here. He has to it's just not working. Your team isn't that great in order to be like, all right, everybody sit out here. You're not winning Super Bowls here. You're not. You could barely win freaking 5 games here, guy. You get what I'm saying? So like they have to go out there, and I'm expecting at least a quarter and a half. I'm expecting that at least to go out there and go do their thing. But for them to actually have that country club like last year, I'm not playing nobody because we had the joint practices and we played them hard. No, still go out there and try to punch them in the mouth there for at least 15, 17, 18 minutes, whatever. Just give me a quarter and a half. I just want to see it. And then like Hef said, that next game, it should be in there for the entire half to work it out and see what's going on and hopefully get it together for week 1 for Washington at this point. But these guys, something has to change. It cannot be that lackadaisical or everybody's on the sideline with a headpiece in their ears, hearing the plays. Like, no, go out there and produce and go get ready to get smacked for freaking 17 games at this point here. Something's got to give, man, because we can't win 3 games anymore because they're going to clean house. You know what I mean? So they got to figure it out.
I'm going to give you a 2-parter. If you want to go chalk and say like Dart and Carter, then okay. But you may be judged if you do. Who from the draft class are you most excited to see? That could be either in camp or even just in the regular season. And also, besides Malik Neighbors, who from last year's draft class do you think has like the best chance to break out and you're excited to see? So basically, talking the last 2 draft classes. Who are you excited for?
Who wants to go first? You guys want?
Is Cam Scatterbo a cop out? Just because I want to see how he integrates. I still think Tyrone Tracy is our guy, and I'm interested to see how he folds in. Like on one hand, I don't want him to just get the lead role because I think Tracy has earned the right to be that guy. But at the same time, I don't want Scadaboo to be like 3 carries a game and just get stuffed for a 1 yard loss, and we have no idea how to unlock him. So I would love for us to build out, a two-headed monster, and then, you can sprinkle in Singletary, who is still a professional running back, and he'll probably remind some people that we forgot about him at some point this season. But the running game, getting that solid running game going is going to be huge for this team. I think Tracy's a home run hitter, and Scadaboo can punch you in the mouth, give you a little bit of that Bradshaw energy, and that's what I'm hoping to see. But I can't wait to see how that actually plays out.
Oh, Cam, I really hope he played. Whatever he was going through the spring, I hope he's out there.
Yeah.
He's gonna start the first fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I can't wait to see that kid. That kid is football and football only. Eat, sleep, shit, football.
Yeah.
That's Cam Scadaboo. But you know what I'm excited about? Speed. You showed me this on the flight, man, and I was just like, wow. But Darius Alexander, isn't that his name, brother?
We're gonna take
Toledo.
my guy.
Oh,
You took my guy.
I'm so sorry, Speed, but Speed,
No,
I'm
you
excited.
gotta go, buddy.
No lie, man. I'm excited to see that guy because you'll have a good, nice, solid player since Leonard Williams left and departed there at this point. This guy could be the yin and the yang to our guy Dexter Lawrence at this point. The guy can stop the run. The guy can even actually get after the quarterback too. Not only that, you can actually drop him back in a coverage too, and he'll give you an interception. Like, it's just he's like a Swiss Army knives of players. When I watched film on him, not only like Spiro showed me something on the flight back from Green Bay when we went to the draft, I did some research too. And I'm like, man, this guy is a Swiss Army knife for players. His footwork is amazing too. This guy is going to be that sleeper that everybody's going to be like, man, where did we draft him at? Holy shoot. Like, I didn't know he was that talented. I'm telling you right now, that name, Darius Alexander, is going to ring this season. And I'm excited to see him, man, to see what he can do. Cam, I get it. All those guys, those are gimmies. Those are easy picks. But I'm telling you, Darius Alexander, man, is gonna open up a lot of eyes, man, when he plays next to Dexter Lawrence, man. So I'm excited, definitely for sure.
Hefe, have you thought about Joe Shane masterclass by trading away the Giants' second-round picks so he doesn't have to give the fully guaranteed contract that every NFL team is currently giving their second-round picks because one guy did it.
Smart.
So this precedent run is happening. I mean, this is a Joe Shane masterclass chess, not checkers thing happening.
One step ahead, as usual, Joe Shane.
He knew that this was going to
Who
happen.
would've
So he's like, I don't need that second-round pick.
No.
Everybody signed by the. I mean, before.
I mean, I don't even like second round picks. Like, ugh,
I hate it.
it's like, what? You're not a first round, or who are you really? It's
It's not just because the Giants have such a outstanding run with second round picks, low key better than first round picks. But anyway,
Yeah,
right,
sure.
right. Sadly true.
So since my guy took Darius Alexander, I will say, listen, my obvious answer is Carter, but I want to say Marcus Bowe was a pick that I really liked. I enjoyed that pick. And what we need, and I know he's not going to be a starter right off the bat, but what we need is when inevitably, and again, I hate to say this, when somebody goes down on offensive line.
Oh, here he goes again. God.
I don't want to say his name, but I want to know that Bowe can come in and be serviceable, right? And be a guy that it's got, just holds his own. And I know he doesn't have the NFL body yet, but he's got he's technical, he's athletic, and I need to know that he could just step in and show us a glimpse of what we will see in the future, because I think he can play all along that offensive line, show versatility, and allows you to cut maybe a couple of these older vets that you don't want to keep around and use for another roster spot for, because you need 3 for quarterbacks now that you wouldn't need before, because you need to keep Dart and you got to keep Winston and Russ. But Bowe is someone for this year's class that I want to see how he progresses. Now, last year's class, you asked about last year's class, is a guy I stood on, and he didn't. He flashed, but he didn't really, take to the next level. Is Tyler Nubin. Mm-hmm. I want to see Tyler Nubin have a really good year this year, and I think the combination with him and Holland being able to use those two in different ways and almost interchangeably at times, I think it's going to be really good. The game's going to slow. Even with McKinney, his year 1 wasn't electric. He didn't really stand out, but that game slows down for the safeties in year 2. And same year in a second system now, second year in the same system. I think that you're going to see Nubin take off get in the backfield. He came downhill and he made a lot of plays in the run game, but I want to see plays in the passing game now. So I think that's a guy for me I'm going to be watching, and I want to see him take that next step because we have very good success with that second round safety all the time, and I think he is that guy still. Just want to see it happen on the field and have big impact.
Yeah, this year's draft, last year's draft class, and what they do this year is going to be huge for Joe Shane's future as well. It's not just huge for Brian Daboll's future. I think it's huge for Joe Shane's future as well, because that's basically how, at least maybe in the court of public opinion, even though I think a lot of Giants fans wanted Joe Shane fired, at least in the court of public opinion, why people were able to hold on is because he and everyone else around him would just be like, well, look at this year's draft class. They look pretty good. Ignore what we did the first 2 years. This draft class looks pretty good. And even we felt decent about the 2023 draft class after their first year. JMS will get better. Jalen, well, he caught some deep balls. He'll get better. Who's Deontay Banks? He'll get better. And he wasn't that bad his rookie year. And then a lot of these guys kind of have, besides Hyatt, who just couldn't earn time on the field, and they draft Malik Neighbors. But a lot of those guys have similar year twos as they did year one. And people feel a lot worse about Deontay Banks now. People feel a lot worse about John Michael Schmitz, even though like who they are as players has relatively kind of stayed the same. If anything, some of Deontay Banks' advanced stuff in terms of like target separation and wide receiver separation got better from his rookie year.
Right there.
Just that he can't make a play on the football. So
yeah,
this year will be huge. Like if we walk away from this year, and I think Tyler Nubin is one of the biggest X factors on the defense, because this isn't a dude that we drafted in the 4th or 5th round that we're putting these huge expectations on. This was a dude that was drafted pretty much at the top of the 2nd round, similar to, you mentioned some other safeties that we've kind of drafted and added in the past. And now that the expectation for Nubin isn't going to be like this safety number one, you're paying Javon Holland big money for that. So now you have 2 smart, instinctual football players going back there. And Shane Bowen's defense, I think like the safeties are kind of like really the heartbeat of that secondary. Like if Shane Bowen wants to disguise stuff and mix up some coverages and mix up some looks, I think it's happening with what the safeties are kind of doing and how they're moving around the football field. So if Tyler Nubin could get his hands on a football more, because he only one game last year, and one time last year he got his hands on a football for a forced incompletion, pass defense, whatever you want to call it. Do you know what game that came in? Giants trivia. It was one of the worst forgettable games of the year.
They all were. Let me see.
I'm out.
Yeah, I can't get it.
It was the Tampa
game
Bay
one.
Bucks.
Makes sense. Yeah, that was a forgettable game.
You had it on the tippy top of your tongue. I know you did. But if we walk away from year 2, again, like comparing it to the 2023 draft class, if you're walking away from year 2 and you're saying, Tyler Nubin only got 2 pass deflections, passes defensed, and it's like I don't care how good of a run defender he is, because he was a really good run defender last year. I don't care how good of a run defender he is. That's not going to feel good walking away from year 2. If a safety that had how many interceptions is coming away from year 2 with a similar stat line to what he did year 1, he could still be a good player because that run defense is going to be valuable. But I like talking about Tyler Nubin, because I think he can, if he plays like he was kind of drafted as, like like his kind of the player card says that then he brings the stuff that he's supposed to. That could be a huge X factor for the defense. So
and it's in that kind of the same point. Drew Phillips, he played the run fantastic, but let's see a couple more plays on the ball.
Yes, 100%.
Come on.
And Deontay Banks, wasn't he a guy that didn't have an interception in college?
No, I don't really understand why Joe Shane kind of did that. Let's draft Cordell Flott. Let's draft Cordell Flott, who doesn't have a lot of experience making plays on the football. Let's draft Deontay Banks, who doesn't have a lot of experience making plays on the football. They're fast. They're physical, sure, but and now everything that we did this offseason is, okay, let's get guys that can make plays on the football. Great.
Yeah. Change of philosophy for sure.
There you go.
Crazy thought. Yeah.
I want to play I have 5 rounds here.
Oh.
And we have to be quick because there's still 2 other things that I want to get to.
Let's do it.
I want to play a what's more likely game. and everybody gets a minute, and I'm setting a
Like that.
clock. I'm setting a timer.
I like
Not
that.
everybody each. You
Under
all
pressure.
collectively get a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
What's
20
more
seconds
likely?
each, guys.
Russell Wilson starts 13 games or Russell Wilson starts 6? Go.
Eli, go.
All of them. What was it? 13?
You're gonna start all of them. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna start all of them. We're not gonna see Jackson Dart this year.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my God, that would be a great situation. But I'm going to say it's probably closer to 6 because either injury or play might force the hand. The fans will get loud, and Jackson Dart will be called to the throne.
Yeah, I wish you said 12 games because I have that week 13 as the one, but I'm gonna say it's close. It's gonna be 13 games.
Yeah.
I think that the defense will keep them in enough games, and Russell will do just enough to keep the record close to 500, and he'll stay as a starter.
I hope you're right.
That's my goal, 13. But
Yeah, please.
we all set goals in our life.
Yeah, right.
And with the Giants,
As my father has told me growing up, it's good to want.
Yes, yes, he's smart man.
All right, next one.
Taught you well.
Defensive Rookie of the Year for Abdul Carter or Malik Neighbors for 1,500 yards? What's more likely?
Malik Neighbors, 1,500 yards.
A lot.
Okay.
I know.
I think he
He
can.
could do it. He could do it.
Yeah,
He
I
could
think-
do it, just.
what do you get? 1,200 something last year?
1,200 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that quarterback
He
room,
can do it. With a good quarterback, he can do it.
he can do it. I'm gonna say Malik numbers 1,500. I'm gonna say Malik numbers 1,500 because that quarterback room last year was atrocious. He was injured. He was banged up. He might still be injured. I don't know. But if healthy, with an improved quarterback with explosive plays, 1,500 should be within reach, very within reach. So give me Malik Neighbors, man.
I'm going against you guys, and I'm saying Abdul Carter. I think he's going to be the brightest bright spot on this defense.
Yeah.
I think he's going to change how the Giants are viewed, how this defense is viewed, and how people play against us. I think he's going to stand out big time. Eli, don't give me that face, bro. And I'm saying Abdul Carter, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay, I like that though. I like that.
Big year from
That's
Neighbors.
bold.
He's clearing 1,000. Don't get me wrong, but 1,500 is real serious. And you're talking about humming. You're talking about 90, 100 plus
Top
yards
5
a game. You know.
Telling
right.
you, he can do
I said it with my chest out.
Same,
I just
same.
like to go against you guys.
I can tell you was grabbing at straws there.
Whatever you guys
don't
said, I was
believe
going the opposite. Yeah.
me. I figured.
Exactly.
Jalen Hyatt breakout or
Whatever. What
respect Darius Slayton more? What did you just say?
I was going to say, whatever the second thing is.
Yeah.
Whatever the second thing is for
Say-
sure.
sorry.
You know I'm more or less with you, Hefe, but
I apologize.
Hyatt breakout or fans begin to respect Darius Slayton more?
So I'm gonna go. I'll go first this time. Slayton. I think this is his year. They just gave him a nice little deal. I think he's got a wide receiver 2 spot locked in and loaded if he wants it. Defenses have to focus on Neighbors. Like, dude, it's now or never for you to turn the page with better quarterback play. And this is the time and the year where he will begin to gain respect if he's ever going to do it.
Listen, let me say this, man. What's a breakout for Jalen Hyatt? 2 touchdowns,
200 yards. 200 yards.
So. I guess that's a breakout, yeah. So if it's that per se, 2 touchdowns and 300 yards for the entire season, that is a breakout, right?
No.
That's a breakout. But no, all joking aside, it's Darius Slayton, man. Darius Slayton is the guy that's been ridiculed, has been benched, that's been through the ringer here when Dayball got here with the Giants. This guy couldn't even find time on the field. They drafted Jalen Hyatt to replace him, and he's been laughing in their face ever since being on this team here to another contract.
Yeah.
So Darius Slayton is the guy I'm going to go with, hands down. He's going to face every adversity, which he has already. He's the number 2. Jalen Hyatt, I'm sorry.
Speed, you have to go high.
Okay, fine. Let's play this game. I'm going to say Jalen Hyatt because you know what? Russell Wilson has been singing his praises all summer long. And you know what? Jalen Hyatt has been very quiet about what, there's some rumors that came out that the coaching staff didn't like him last year. He was in a doghouse. He said like one thing on Instagram, like, watch me now. I forget what it was, but it was very like down to business. I think Jalen Hyatt is locked in. He knows this is his last chance to make a mark, and he's probably going to be an NFL irrelevance after this if he doesn't come through this year. So he's going to give it his 100%. He shouldn't feel like he's owed something because Brian Dable damn near benched him last year. So he's going to come out guns blazing, has a relationship with Russell Wilson. I think this is the year you're going to see 500 yards, about 3 to 4 touchdowns on big plays, moonballs to high feet. High to the moon. High to the moon.
All right, one more, and then we're going to do record predictions. Giants defense is top 10 in takeaways and in scoring. Or Evan Neal finds a home at guard.
Eli, you're first. Eli first.
Yo, I'm gonna go with this, and you guys are gonna kill me. Evan Neal finds a home at guard.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the opposite here because I know what you guys are gonna pick. Look, I just don't like the defense is great. Don't get me wrong. On paper, they look amazing. They look good, but I just don't trust Shane Bowen. I don't trust him yet. I don't believe in Shane. This guy has only been great when we had my guy from what's his name? The defensive coordinator from Philly at one time. What's his name? Jim Schwartz. He was only good when Schwartz was like his right hand guy talking in his ear, like, "Hey man, that's a run. You probably want to do a little zone here." Since he left, Shane Bowen hasn't been Shane Bowen at all from the Titans. And this guy showed last year, which I'm shocked that Dayball keep him, but I understand the optics. You got to keep him. You can't keep firing everyone. I get it, Dayball. I just don't trust his game plan. And then he has stronger individuals on this team than we've seen in a while. I just don't trust him enough. So I'm going to go with Evan Neal probably performing better at guard than the defense being top 10 in any type of takeaways or scoring at this point. Maybe top 15, maybe top 20, but I just don't know about 10. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's fair. Jeff?
Go. Yeah, we have like 8 seconds. I'm just going to bet on the talent.
Sorry.
The defense has more talent collectively. Whatever grade level that is, it's way better than what Evan Neal's grade is. So I'm just going to go with the defense.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what Jeff said just because, again, I'm betting on everybody being healthy. Okereke with a bounce back year. I love the Golston signing. Very underrated signing. And I think he's going to be a Debo. Holland, like we've added so much talent to this defensive side of the ball with Abdul Carter, and I think Shane Bowen can only do so bad. Like the talent's going to overwhelm a lot of teams, and they're going to make a lot of interceptions, a lot of fumbles on sacks, and I'll bet on that. Like Jeff said, I'll bet on that.
Eli, I'm starting with you. We're going to do Giants record predictions, and we're going to have to hold. I told you all to make top 5 lists. Top 5 Giants moments since Super Bowl 46.
And we have them.
We're going to have to hold on to that list because you guys have a super ultra important call with ESPN at 2:30.
Can we sneak that in? Can we just sneak that
list? It's not a pretty list, to be honest with
you. Yeah, I think we got some time to get it out. What do you think? I'm just saying.
Let's do it. Let's see how
let's see. But go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry, Jess.
Eli, we'll start off with you. The 2025 New York Giants are finishing with what record?
You guys are going to laugh at me.
Don't take mine.
You guys are going to laugh at me, man. I say 9-8.
I say 9-8. Okay.
Let the record show the Giants are favored in one game on their schedule.
I'm going to go, you know what, man? If you guys don't know me by now, all right? I'm always optimistic. I'm always positive about the Giants. This is a different team. Like, we can't sit here and go, you know what, hey, look at the past when Daniel Jones was here and the talent just wasn't here. These are now Joe Shane's guys, and they've been looking good for the past 2 drafts. We're not going to talk about the other ones. We're just not, all right? We're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave it alone. And it's looking promising. The signings are looking promising. I think the Giants, man, will squeak out 9 games here. I don't know how, but they're really giving me that 2007 vibes here. Underdogs, but still win some games and sneak into the playoffs. I'm saying playoffs, dude. Holla at me.
Wow.
Put it on record.
All right.
Put it on record. Right.
A 9-8 wild card.
Go. It's nuts. I don't know.
Jack, what you got?
I'm going to go with 8-9. I think that they beat some teams they're not supposed to, including the Chiefs in week 3. Yeah. And I think ultimately this schedule and the state of the Giants just needs a little more time to cook. But I think you see enough that you're not cleaning house, you're not firing people, but you're 8-9, you missed the playoffs, and you feel okay going into next year, saying now we have something. You see a little bit from Jackson Dart at the end of the year, enough to get you excited, but we probably lose those games because he's a rookie, right? So that's a couple more losses at the end. 8-9, but the Giants are showing the right signs finally, where you don't want to fire everybody. You don't have to tank for a quarterback. You got one. Now you can build and look ahead. 8-9.
All right. Hey, and I know I'm Mr. Glass half full here. I know I'm supposed to say like 10-7, but I don't like the schedule, man. I don't like the schedule. I don't like that how little time we have with Russ and everything coming together. So I'm gonna say 7-10, but I think it's gonna be an optimistic 7-10. I think we're gonna
That would be very optimistic.
it's gonna be like make losses fun again. We had this mantra back in the day, and I think we're actually gonna see it here. We're gonna see some good, great positive signs.
Moonball.
Tough losses to teams that are playoff teams, and like the Giants aren't quite a perennial playoff team yet. If they win one of the first two games, I start creeping close to 8-9, and then
I was between 7 and 8. I was 7 or 8. Yeah,
it's those first two games that set the tone for me. If you lose those first two, I think 7-10 is realistically where we're at. But if you win one, that's when you start thinking 8-9. But right now, 7-10, and I think you'll see a couple wins with Dart late, because I say week 13, you start them in that Patriots game, you get the bye week, then you got 5 winnable games kind of on the backside of that. And you see some good things like, how Eli won that Dallas game at the end of his rookie year. You're like, all right, we got some here. We know he's going to be a guy. You win that 7th game at the end of the year, and you take that into next year. 7 for me is positive. So I just want to say that, and I think 7-10 is realistically where we're at.
I like it, Speed.
I think did we all go 9, 8, 7, and then I think I'm going 6.
6.
There you go. There you go.
Now I look at the
6.
season in two different ways. I almost look at it as two different seasons.
Yeah.
There is the first 13 weeks of the season, which God, I hope we can get to the first 13 and still like 5
kind of be okay.
Yeah.
5 and 8. Like that's my hope is 5 and 8. And then if Jackson Dart goes 1-3, you'll have some divisional opponents. You'll have the Vikings. You'll have the Raiders. The last 4 games of the year. So none of this is easy. They're only favored in one.
No.
It's the Saints. So if you could finish the year 1-3, or even this is where I can bump it up to 7. If Jackson Dart can go 2-2 in his final 4, and we're like, hey, well then we feel really damn good about this. That's the world that I want to be living in. If we're like, I would love 5 and 8 after the bye. And then Brian Dable's justification for putting Jackson Dart in for the Final 4 is we want a spark at the quarterback position. That's a line that he has said before. It's a line I hope he gets to say in decent circumstances this year. Not if we're 1-5, we're 2-8, and then Jackson Dart's going into a bad situation.
Yes.
I want Jackson Dart going into a good situation. Make losses fun again. I certainly wouldn't. I would not mind 24-21. Hey, maybe let's not. I also would like some games where, hey, if we got to outscore teams and it's 31-27, that could also be fun. But honestly, guys, this defense should not be allowing 30 points on a consistent basis too. If the offense is better than average and the defense is doing what they have to do, then you may win more games than you think. So that you talked about at the beginning of the show. Roster is 27th in the league. That may be at season's end, that may be true, but at least the expectations in the building and what they did this offseason and the players that they added, it should not reflect being 27th in the league. That cannot happen again. So,
Agreed.
Fellas, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
This is really good radio. You have a call in 3 minutes with ESPN, like I said.
Listen, we'll just have to schedule another micro episode before the season kicks off to talk about our
our top 5 moments, which we had to really scrounge and claw for these top 5 moments.
We did.
We got them.
Daniel Jones I'll just give you a little Daniel Jones's first game.
Yes.
2019 was like in my top 5.
That was electric.
I thought we had a guy.
I thought we had something.
I thought we had a guy.
This guy is Joe Montana.
Oh my
God, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you at training camp. I will see everybody else at training camp. on Wednesday.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
Definitely.
New York
brother.
Revival, baby. See you there.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, thank you to the New York Revival guys for coming on the show. Like I said at the start, I will see you tomorrow live on YouTube. And then if you don't catch me live, then you can rewatch it on YouTube, and I'll put it up on the podcast apps right after that. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you at MetLife, and if you're not going to be there, then I'll see you recapping practice number 1. So let's go Giants, and take it away, Joey.
It starts today! Let's go Giants! We bleed blue!